Hello, Gayle. Just finished your CC5 and great work. I love how much you're improving, right on track. The camera placement was pretty good. I mean, I guess you could go a little more to the side to try and get that full view, but it was enough for me to get a feel of, his mispokes and where the board was. And I do think that the board placement was really good, so stick with that. I mean, you had a great tone. You could tell that you were really kind of taking it down because his body seemed to be a little more dysregulated. I loved your prompts. It was really good how much, you were prompting his eyes and having him scan and look at the board. It's really the most important one to do that a lot of people forget about, so good job. I even liked how you were coaching his body to get back up, like sit up straight, hips back, let me see, a nice tall spine, stuff like that. I would, though, there were, I guess it was kind of consistent throughout majority of it, but when he had one mispoke, you would lift up. So instead of lifting after that one mispoke, just try and hold the board down and think of other ways that you can support him to the right letter. I couldn't really see, but as always, I kind of say maybe push back a little further so he does have that full range of getting to the letters. And then also too, instead of physically touching his arm for that little reset, I would just, try using your words and prompting his arm, or even hovering over the arm and saying like, okay, hand down, I'm gonna lift the board up, and then when I drop it, I want to see your eyes on it, think about that letter, go right to it. I would be more conscious of making sure that you're really just doing, especially with his age and his busy body, just like 3 questions, and then always reading another chunk or doing, a motor break, but try not to get past that 3 questions so you don't, get him too tired or frustrated. And then also remember to stick with greens after those initial spells. He did seem like he was upset, but again, insides don't match the outsides. He could have just been really excited that he was that much more accurate today. And sometimes doing those greens instead of the spells, upping that cognition, helps him feel a little more regulated and grounded and having to use his brain a little bit more. And then it was good, that you let him kind of move around while you were reading. I would definitely encourage that. And the sleepy thing is like so crazy. I mean, that's one thing that I really feel for a lot of these parents, the amount of times that when I was working at the school, or even when I see clients now and they're like, yeah, we've been up since 2. And more than not, I've actually experienced a lot of my clients who are sleep deprived or sleepy typically have better sessions because they're just tired. But yeah, just keep pushing through, of course. Tell Dad, thanks for letting me know. Always give me these little heads up at the beginning of every session. But I'm gonna keep, trying to get in at least our 30-45 minutes. I'll be a little more aware of the break time and how many questions I'm asking and all of that. But unfortunately, the lack of sleep is very common with this population. You're definitely becoming much more comfortable with managing the 3 boards and the transcript, which is great. Yes, I love deep pressure, compressions, you know, get the hands. I'll typically do a few nice rhythmic squeezes in the wrist and this and the elbow and some shoulders. I'm not sure what where did you say? The Wilbarger deep pressure protocol. I'll have to check that out, but I imagine yes. And I forget if I've ever sent you those acupressure, like finger rolling massagers. Shoot me a text if I haven't, and I'll send you the link for that, because I've had a lot of clients who really enjoy that. The transcript doesn't have to be color-coded, just really, really simple spell words, questions, answers. It's tough with the parents who want to help, you know, regulate or get their body to sit, or it's the worst when they're like, oh, sit down and I'll give you $1 or you'll get a chocolate. But you know, maybe wait a few more sessions until you're a little more comfortable with you and Dad's relationship, unless you do know him very well already. But then this is where I always kind of say, like, blame me and be like, hey, you know, thank you so much for your help. It really has been a help. But one of my competencies for this course is to prove that I'm able to, you know, coach the motor, work through dysregulation, and my mentor really needs to see me be the one coaching him to sit back down and stuff. And just, you know, you could even say, like, hey, here's a piece of paper and a pen. I would love for you to, you know, write down any questions or comments or tips or tricks that you would have done differently, but if possible, I really want to be the only one coaching his body and his motor and supporting him for the next 30 minutes, and then we can discuss afterwards. And yeah, amazing reflection, looks great, so keep it up. And yeah, that's it. Let me know if you have questions. I'm about to watch the next CC.